So I think my last writing vlog I posted was my failed attempt at Camp NaNoWriMo last year in July. And I wish I could say that that was the most recent writing vlog that I filmed, but I've actually filmed about 5 since then, all of which have gotten scrapped. If I can find footage from them still lingering on my computer, I'll throw some up here as I talk, but I tried filming one in October. I think I tried filming one in November. I tried filming one in January. That until about last week I was still convinced was gonna work. I've just had the best intentions about writing over the past 6, 7, 8 months, and I just haven't really. So I kind of want to talk about that and hopefully, actually this time, film a writing vlog that is going to go up. It'll be a miracle if this gets posted. So my biggest struggle over the past 6 months and the focus of the last writing vlog that I tried to film is the fact that I've been really torn between projects. In the last writing vlog that I attempted to film and post, my goal was that I was going to try and outline all 4 of the projects that I was torn between and then pick one. And then I proceeded to never outline any of the 4 projects. Those projects are my longtime novel that I've been working on forever, the novel I won NaNoWriMo 2016 with, the fanfic that I tried writing NaNoWriMo 2017, and number 4 is a new project that I had the idea for a long time ago and got some new ideas for and got excited about. And honestly, I kind of blame Save the Cat Writes a Novel on me wanting to outline all 4 of them because I got interesting ideas for each of them because of that book. So like, I guess go save the cat, yay, you gave me ideas, but also it made me so much more conflicted about what to do. But honestly, at this point, I've just reached the point where I need to write something for my own sanity. I just need to write. I need to do something. I need to finish something, or else I'm gonna lose it. Not really, but like, I just feel like I'm at the end of my rope with trying to figure out what I'm doing. So I just need to do something. I've been saying for months that I'm gonna do something in video form and then never posting it because I never do the thing. But now I need to actually do it. So I'm going back to my go-to project when I don't know what to work on. I'm going back to the fanfic. I'm gonna finish it this time. I actually did not believe a single word I just said when I said that, but I need to finish it this time to feel some sort of accomplishment. And I'm at 100,000 words in it. And I'm only like 1/3 to 40% of the way through. That's how much of a mess it is. If I can just finish this draft and then rewrite it a little bit and then post it, I'll feel much better about everything, I think. So hopefully I can actually get that first draft done. And I don't think I'll get it all done in this vlog, but I want to get a lot of it done over the next few weeks and vlog it. So let's see how that goes. It's later in the day. I sat down at my desk to write for the first time today. Didn't do it all day because I'm lazy. And then I got distracted by social media and music. I just need to write. So it is currently about 3 days after I filmed that first update and I finally did it. I have written every single day since filming that update. It's not like I've been writing a ton. I haven't been super productive. I think in total I've written about 1,500 words, but I've written. I've worked on it every day. I've done something. I definitely haven't gotten a habit back up. It takes a while to build those, but I have been sitting here at my desk rather than in bed. I have been burning a candle while doing it. I have been trying to set these writing triggers in place, and I can't do it every day at the same time because I'm physically incapable of doing something at the exact same time every day. Even my morning coffee, I've explained this in other videos. But I've been doing it. I've been working on it. I've been trying to get stuff done. But something I already really knew, but I'm realizing more while working on this, is I need to have some sort of structure to what I'm writing. And I don't mean in the sense of an outline, because my fanfic does have an outline. It's a very vague outline. It's kind of a paragraph about what each chapter should be and then bullet points as to what I need to write for that. It's not super detailed, but it's in place. But what I need is some sort of word count in place because I have a very strong tendency to overwrite. Although I am an outliner, I also tend to free write when it comes to conversations and dialogue, and I overwrite those constantly. I will have like way too much dialogue and it'll turn into like a 1,500 word scene, which is what I've been writing for the past several days. And it's such a boring, long-winded scene for no reason, and it's why this first draft of this fanfic is literally at 107,000 words right now. Like, that's too long, and it's only, like I said, like 40% of the way through the story. So what I think I need to do today is I need to figure out how many words I want each chapter to be for this draft. And I need to figure out maybe more concrete conversations for them to have in the chapters, just so I know that bullet point I need to hit and hopefully not overwrite it like I usually do. And the other thing I think I need to do, despite the fact that I love having just like a big text document in Word, I think I need to move stuff over to Scrivener, and I need to have distinct chapter designations. I just think that having everything in Scrivener will make it easier for me to keep track of that word count, to know when I'm going too far, writing too much, and it also helped me to keep things separated between what I wrote over the past year and a half and what I'm going to be writing. And I also think it'll be a little bit better structure-wise to have the outline like right there for me to see in one big document. I just hope that it'll help me to be more structured than I am right now with what I think is currently like a 250-page Word document. So that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm going to throw everything into Scrivener and move the outline over and all that kind of stuff, and then split everything up between chapters and see how long some of them are. It's going to be a lot for some of them. Some of them are going to be way too much, and I'll definitely go through and find the longest one and share how many words it is, because at my best guess, I'm guessing that at least one of the chapters, not even kidding, is gonna be like 15,000 words long, probably. Honestly, I almost said 20,000, but I felt like that was overshooting it a little bit. With my luck, there will be a 20,000 word chapter, but we'll see later when I go through it. For now, I'm actually going to watch my Camp NaNoWriMo vlogs while I drink coffee and start moving stuff over to Scrivener. And hopefully that will get me in the mood to write, and it'll get me into the story. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'll get back to y'all in a bit. So it's a bit later in the day, and I now have everything moved over to Scrivener. And remember how I was like, I kind of wanted to say that 20,000 words would be like the longest chapter, but that's probably an overstatement, so I didn't say that. The longest chapter is 26,000 words. Granted, the beginning of this draft is a disaster, and it wasn't outlined at the beginning. It was mostly free writing, but I then outlined it and I changed the order of events and changed some of the events that happen at the beginning. So like the chapter divisions are weird. Like the first chapter is 17,000 words long, but once I change it and fix it to match the outline that I've written since writing that first section, that's actually going to take place over 4 chapters. So it's like slightly more reasonable. And then the other 2 chapters that are incredibly long, one is 20,000 and one is 26,000. A lot of sections of those chapters have since been deleted, and I believe one of them is now taking place over 2 chapters in the actual outlined version that I'm going to write in the second draft. So yes, there are 3 chapters that are over 15,000 words, one of which is over 25,000 words. A lot of that is not going to be in the final thing, and also that's largely because of the fact that I didn't outline, and these chapters are also why this draft is so long unnecessarily. I just rambled and rambled and rambled in the first like 60,000 words of the draft, which are these 3 chapters that I'm talking about. So like I knew it was going to be a mess. I just didn't realize it was that bad. Fortunately, I do have a new outline, and because it doesn't line up with what I wrote in the first place, that's why it's such a mess. But that's still like 60,000 words that are just a disaster. But that's why I didn't decide to start a new draft when I started working on this again, because I knew it was already written, it was a mess. I didn't want to touch it right now. I just want to finish the draft and finish it better than the way I started it, because every chapter since then has been like a much more reasonable length. Apart from those 3, the longest one I think is 7,000 words, which granted is still a lot, but it's a lot more reasonable than 17,000 or 26,000. So my goal for today is to finish the chapter I'm working on, which is already too long, but it needs to be wrapped up at a certain point. And then I can move on to the next chapter, hopefully tomorrow, but we'll see, because I have other stuff I have to do, and I don't know if I'm going to get everything done today, but we'll see. So it has been about a week since my last update, and your first question is, how much have you written over the past week? And my answer is none, not at all. But for once, it actually mostly wasn't my fault. I don't want to get into details. I don't want to talk about it, but about a week ago, I had to go out of town because of a family emergency, and I spent pretty much every waking minute with my family trying to take care of stuff. And by the time I got back to the hotel we were staying at the end of the night, I was exhausted, and as much as I wanted to write and work on other things, I just didn't have the energy, because I'm a mega introvert and being around people all day is the most exhausting thing in the world. The other part of it, though, that is my fault is almost a self-consciousness that makes no sense, or also kind of a bit of an inability to work when other people are around. Basically, I've always just had an inability to write if I think that anyone else can see it, regardless of where they're at, even if they're in front of me and they can't see what I'm writing. I just have this weird self-conscious thing where I can't write if I think people are paying attention to what I'm writing. There's also the fact that I have trouble focusing when other people are around and making noise. I really need a certain environment to be able to focus and write, and just all these things combined to make it impossible for me to write at all over the past week. Even when I had the energy and had the time, I still just couldn't do it because there were people around. I don't know if it's just a weird me thing or if a lot of other people have this issue, but I just feel really self-conscious when I'm writing and other people are around, and that caused me to not be able to write at all this week. And then I ran into my second problem. So because I was having trouble working on writing, I figured, hey, let's read through something. And I made the mistake of deciding that there was a section of my NaNoWriMo 2016 project, Flirting with Fame, that I wanted to read through. And so I did. I think you know where the story is headed. I got sucked into the story. I found myself wanting to work on it again. I found myself wanting to improve it again. And this is all when I should have been working on my fanfic that I have been supposed to be writing for the past week or two. So then, to get myself back on track, I switched over to the fanfic and started reading through little chunks of it. And I hated it. I didn't start at the very beginning. I kind of skipped to about the second chapter, which is apparently 20,000 words in, and I started reading around there, and it was so cringy, and I hated it, and I can't believe I only wrote that a year and a half ago, not even that. So getting excited about working on the other story combined with hating what I've written in this one makes me want to go and work on the other one, even though I really, really shouldn't. I just need to get something done. But this is the same struggle that I've been having for months at this point. And every time I have this problem, I'm like, okay, I'll work on it for a little bit, get it out of my system, and then go back to the fanfic. But it just never happens because I keep putting it off, and then I just never do anything. So it's just really frustrating because I want to work on something, but I just keep running into problems, whether they're my own problems or things that just happen that are out of my control, and just, it's so frustrating. So I've resolved that I'm going to not go back and try and reread any more of the fanfic, because apparently I'm going to hate it, but I am going to trudge forward and try to keep writing. I never finished that chapter that I mentioned at the end of the last update, and that's what my goal is for, I think, tonight, and we will see how that goes, because I need to write. I need to take the time that I have available right now, because I'm gonna have more stuff to deal with that was similar to the stuff from last week in a few days, so it's gonna be a mess again. And so I just need to take these few days that I have and really put a lot of time in. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm not totally sure what day I filmed my last update on. I know it's been several days because I've traveled in the time since I filmed that vlog. Like I said, I think in one of the last few, I had a bit more traveling I had to do. That is because of the stuff that happened like a week and a half ago. And this is actually going to be the last update of this specific vlog, because I did a thing that was probably pretty dumb, but ended up working out really well, and the next vlog is going to head off in a different direction than what I've been doing. So I need to talk about that. And I wanted to kind of cut it off here before we head off in the different direction. So I mentioned in a recent update that I was feeling conflicted again, and that I'd reread part of my Flirting with Fame 2016 NaNoWriMo project. Again, I don't know if I've already said this, but I'll link up in the cards my playlist of NaNoWriMo vlogs from that year if you want to learn more about that. And it was a scene that still exists in the new outline, but in a different version. Like, the thing that happens in the scene still happens, but it happens completely differently, if that makes sense. And this scene is one of the ones that I've had in my mind for a really long time, and that I've really wanted to finally write. And honestly, I've had it so concrete in my mind that I almost forgot that I hadn't actually written this new updated version yet. And after reading that draft and after thinking about it for a long time, I was like, do you know what? I have been thinking about this story for too long. I need to just go ahead and write this scene, get it out of my system, and see what happens. And so I did. And that scene turned into writing the full chapter. And before I knew it, it had been 2 days and I'd written about 5,500 words. You heard that right. Yesterday and today, I've written approximately 5,500 words. Yep. However, in the meantime, between reading the draft and writing these 5,500 words, I attempted to continue the draft of my Day 6 fanfic. And I also reread some of the old sections of my Day 6 fanfic. And I've been unable to get how cringy those sections are out of my mind, and I'm finding it impossible to continue working on the Day 6 fanfic right now. Something about it, I don't know, it's making me cringe, and I just don't want to write it, so I probably won't. So I think you can see where this is headed. It's headed in the direction of I'm going back to working with Flirting with Fame. I know at the beginning of this vlog I was like, I'm committed to the Day 6 fanfic, but I can't stop thinking about Flirting with Fame, and I have gotten so much written over the past couple days on it, and I just want to see how far this momentum can carry me. What I really want to do is, last time I checked, NaNoWriMo had added the possibility to create goals within the website that aren't specific to the actual month of NaNoWriMo, but I also literally, just as I was saying that, realized that Camp NaNoWriMo is in April, and my goal that I've had in the back of my mind for the past couple days is, if I continue writing this, I kind of want to have a draft done by the end of April, because back in like October or sometime a few months ago, I wrote the entirety of the first chapter of draft 2, and now I've written the entirety and more than enough for like chapter 20 of this new draft. So yeah, I've gotten some written already, so I think that a second draft of this by the end of April isn't too much to ask for. Right now I still have about a week left in March, and so that is like 5 weeks of solid writing, and I think that actually might work. Obviously, I need to do a bit of development if this is going to happen. That's a goal for the next couple days, and I'll also definitely need to re-outline a little bit, but I kind of want to make this happen. And like I was starting to say, you can go into the NaNoWriMo website and create like a goal for a specific amount of time to write a specific amount of words, and I think that's what I want to do. I have no like daily word count idea in mind. Honestly, I'll probably just have to do a bit of math for that. I'll talk about that in the next vlog if I figure it out by then, but I'm really excited about this new direction that I'm going in, and this is the most productive writing-wise I've been in a long time. And I know that the words that I've written over the past couple days aren't amazing, but they're pretty decent, I think. Maybe I'll look back at them in a few months and cringe, but I reread the first chapter and like part of another chapter that I wrote a few months ago, and it's actually not that bad. There are parts that aren't great, but as a whole, that first chapter and a bit, it's not too bad. I know that I stopped writing this a few months ago because I was going back and forth about like whether or not I wanted to have multiple perspectives, but that's something I really haven't thought about or figured out since then. Honestly, this is just one of those whim decisions that I'm gonna need to think about a little bit more, but either way, this is the direction I'm headed in for now. Maybe it's dumb, maybe it's a bad idea, maybe I'll change my mind in another 2 days and be back to the fanfic, but for now, this is where I think I'm going to leave this vlog. I've got some stuff I need to figure out in the meantime, and when you see me again in the next vlog, hopefully I will have some of that stuff figured out. So that is it for this writing vlog. I will leave my NaNoWriMo page down in the description if you want to keep up with me in the interim between these vlogs. I kind of want to make them weekly now that I'm trying to get back into it. I don't know, I don't want to make any promises. Anyway, as always, I will leave links down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!